good afternoon. It's Monday. It's Monday. I hope everybody's doing fine. I'm just checking with you guys and wish you a good day. Send you some positive energy and some love. Sending you some love. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a good day, because I'm having a good day. So, I like to share the love. And I want to, for those of, my subscribers, thank you for subscribing. For those people who are thinking to subscribe, please subscribe. Thank you so much for the likes. And you can comment. It helps with the algorithm. Please like, subscribe, comment. And let me tell you something. Ever since I started doing my vlogs, I've seen a remarkable increase in traffic to my stores. Business has been going really nice. It's nice. And I appreciate it. I appreciate those persons who have supported me in any way. Whether you watch my videos, you've bought from my store, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And please watch my videos, share my videos. I thank you so much. I cannot be here and not thank you. That would be delinquent of me. Oh, and my mask, I have to pick up someone along the way. So I just decided to put on a mask before I get to them. So, because sometimes you get caught up and then I might let them in my car and forget to put on my mask. I don't want that at all. So whatever I can control, I shall. That's just me. But I just wanted to say hi, and I wanted to give you a short story time about something that happened to me. I had a real estate company. That's a little something. I had a real estate company. I got conned. You see the title. I got conned, and I got conned twice. Just wanted to share my story. I had two clients. Well, the first one I'm going to tell you about was this guy. He owned maybe 5 properties. I had my business. My friend, who's an attorney, had given me a space in his office free of cost. Oh my gosh, he's the best. So I had a nice little setup, and I was doing, fairly good, because I had linked with other agents and so on. And, we were doing business, and I really enjoyed what I was doing. So I had this guy who walked into my office one day. He said he had seen my ads, and he wanted me to sell 2 properties for him. He owned 5 properties. So he wanted me to sell 2. One was land, and the other one had a house on it, but it was derelict. But he wanted me to sell these 2 properties. Anyway, he took me to see the other properties that he had, and we came to an agreement. We signed an agreement. I want to shorten the story. We signed an agreement, and I said, okay, I started advertising and so on. I sold his property within 3 months. And because the market was a little tough, but I sold his property within 3 months. He was elated. However, on the day of the closing, the person who bought his property made contact with me to say that he was going to do the signing today and so on. And, he just wanted to keep me updated. The guy whose property I sold, before that day, he would make contact with me every day. He wanted to know how things were going and so on. I would give him updates, and he would stay in touch with me. Sometimes it would be 2-3 times a day. I don't know what he expected to happen in that space of time. However, that was fine. However, on the day of the signing, the closing, I didn't hear from him. So I said, okay, well, maybe, he's kind of busy. The other guy who was buying the property, like I said, he made contact with me early in the morning. I didn't hear anything from my client. So I said, okay, that's fine. Later in the day, I called him. He didn't answer his phone. And then fast forward, I didn't hear from him until like 2 days later. And that was me calling him again. I called him, and he sounded a bit irritated. So I said, hello, what's going on? Because your transaction is completed. What's up with my money? And my fee was 3 figures, all right? Because it was a really good property in a nice area. So I said, okay, so are we going to talk business now? He then said to me that he was busy and he had some things that were, that had his attention, immediate things that had his attention. And he couldn't talk to me at that point. So I said, really? That's not how you do business. Anyway, he said he would call me the next day. He never did. So I kept calling him and so on. I said, what's going on with this guy? What's wrong with him? Eventually, what happened is that he said to me that he had some expenses and the money that he got from the property wasn't even enough to cover his expenses. I said, really? I did this work. I did all I could. I sold your property within 3 months because let me tell you this. He had told me that someone else had the property for almost a year and didn't sell it. I sold his property within 3 months and this man did not want to pay me. Well, eventually he stopped answering his phone and I became so frustrated. So I got my lawyer to send him a letter and he never responded until one day, and this was a while later. I saw him in the street and the man acted like he didn't even know me. But remember, this is a civil matter, so there was nothing I could do. I became so frustrated that I even went to the police because I wanted help. I wanted my money. So there he went. I did not get my money. I didn't get my money. I never got my money. And that was it. I think I saw him 2 times after, and that was it. The second incident now is a guy who I knew. He was an attorney in the States, and he was selling this property for a client. He hired me to sell this property for a client. Remember, I knew him. He was my friend, or so I thought. So I had this property, not a nice property. I did all the work and so on. He would call from time to time to find out how things were going. And, you know, I did all I could for him. But I sold the property. That property took a little while for me to sell because there were some issues with that property. So, however, I sold that property. And after I sold the property, I spoke with the owners, husband and wife, of that property maybe twice. But remember, the lawyer was the guy who was my friend, so he was the middleman. So I was in contact with him more frequent than I was the owners. I sold that property. He then said to me that he had to take the money up to them and then they would pay me my commission. I said, okay. You already signed an agreement? Fine. Take the money up to them and then they would pay me my commission. He went up to the States. The owners of the property called me, sent someone down here to speak with me. I don't know if they did not believe that the property, I think they did. Obviously they knew the property was sold, but the amount of money that he gave them, because I subsequently found out that he did not give the people all the money. And so what happened, they decided that because he did not give them all the money, they were not going to pay me. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is happening to me again. I never got that money. I also had my lawyer send them a letter. Again, this is a civil matter. So a while later, I spoke with the owners again because they made contact with me, and the man was saying that he felt badly about it. But after the guy brought the money, he realized that the man had misappropriated the funds and they had stuff to cover, and he wanted to just cover all of his expenses and then pay me. I said, this again? You cannot take care of yourself and then not take care of me. I sold your property. I sold your damn property. So what's wrong with these people? Anyway, I never got my money, and I subsequently heard that the guy who was my friend, I sent him a lawyer's letter, and I also sent the owners a lawyer's letter because I was gonna get, one of the two. Anyway, I never heard from him again. I never heard from the owners, and I heard that they had a big issue because obviously he used up the people's money and nobody ever paid me. I never heard from those people again. But it's just me sharing with you that sometimes these things happen. I mean, you may ask, how could this happen twice? But remember, it's good faith. And when you are an agent, when you're into real estate, there's so much competition, and you don't want to actually act like, and behave like, be rigid. You have to be understanding. You have to negotiate. And that is what I used to do. I mean, those are the only two unscrupulous people that I had to deal with when I owned my business, my real estate business. Otherwise, I was good. I did good business. I had partnered with a reputable agent, and we did a lot of business. God rest his soul, because he died. And we did really, really good business. I would do business with him. He would give me properties. I would sell them. I would get my commission. No issue. Those other instances, those were isolated. Those people were just dishonest. And, I those things helped to build character, because I really had to dig deep inside of me and, be patient and swallow certain things, because you cannot control all the variables. And that is what happened to me when I owned my real estate business. The next story time, I'm going to talk to you about when after I had started working with, I had another job. I left off my real estate business, and then I lost my job. We talk about why I lost my job and what happened subsequently. That is going to be the next story time. All right? So thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you for spending time with me. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my content, please. You have full permission to share my business. if at no other time I don't want you to share my business, you can share my business liberally. Please. And thank you so much. Have a good evening. Stay safe. All right. I love you.